What's good, y'all? My name is Zach Young, and welcome back to Young Money Sports. So the Heat and Cavaliers just wrapped up Game 2 of their first round series, and I'll say this game was definitely more eventful than the last one. Now, I thought this was just going to be more of the same after the Cavs went up by 19 points in the first half. They were hitting their three-pointers like they were not missing from three, and it seemed like they were just going to run away with this one. And it looked like it was going to be even worse than Game 1, because for the most part, even going into the fourth quarter, the Heat really never looked like they were going to get back into the game. Even when they had good moments of offense and good stretches of offense, the Cavs were just lighting the world on fire and hitting everything. But a mix of a hot start for Miami in the fourth quarter and a lot of sloppy basketball by the Cavs ended up making it a 2-point game with around 4 minutes to go. But thankfully for Cleveland, they were able to wake back up, mainly thanks to Donovan Mitchell taking over and hitting just everything down the stretch, and the Cavs were able to hold on and win 121-112. There were definitely some good performances from Cleveland here. Like I said, Donovan Mitchell took over in the fourth quarter. He scored 17 points, I believe, in the fourth quarter, and that he ended up finishing the game with 30 points. Evan Mobley had a much better performance this time around, finishing with 20 points, hitting some big threes, even though he really didn't do much in the fourth quarter. But like I said, that was just Donovan Mitchell's time. Max Strus had a nice game, finishing with 14 points, hitting 4 threes. And DeAndre Hunter had 12 points on 4 for 10 shooting, but they really didn't have a player this time like Ty Jerome in Game 1, where you had a role player just have the game of his life. Like, this was the time for Miami where they really could have capitalized and taken this game and went back to South Beach with the series tied at 1. I mentioned before that, they could end up stealing a game just because there are going to be nights where Cleveland's just having an off night and Miami is just catching fire and hitting everything, and this looked like it was going to be one of those times, especially when they were just able to knock everything down in the fourth quarter. But it just seems like the offense just likes to go completely radio silent at the worst possible times, and that's what ends up leading to teams being able to wake up and pull away, even when they have those early fourth quarter struggles. I think there is more good stuff to talk about from an individual perspective for Miami this time around. Like, Davion Mitchell had a great fourth quarter, ended up finishing the game again with 18 points this time. He wasn't coming off the bench. He actually got the start because of how well he's playing before. Haywood Highsmith finished the game with 17 points. He was just shooting lights out, ended up going 5 for 6 from 3. Khalil Ware had a little bit of a better game. It seemed like he got more adjusted to the playoff setting and playing this Cavs team. And Tyler Hero was by far the player of the game for Miami, finishing with 33 points, hitting a good amount of clutch shots and actually being able to show up in the second half this time around, instead of like what we saw in Game 1 where he finished the game with 21 points, but 17 of those came in the first half. He was actually like getting in these big moments and making the big shots in the fourth quarter when Miami was trying to, get back in it and steal this game. Offensively, I really can't critique him on much. Defensively, he is still as much of a liability as he has been, but I think, scoring 33 points on 14 of 24 shooting, that is able to make up for your struggles on defense. It was just a matter of other people on the team not showing up. Like, we really needed a great game from Bam here, especially with everybody else, or more people showing up than they did in Game 1, but he only finished with 11 points on 3 of 9 shooting, and whenever 5 of his 9 shots are coming from the three-point line, that's how you know that it's just not going to be a good night for Bam. He did almost finish with a triple-double, had a little bit of a better performance in the fourth quarter, but overall this was not a great game, and this is just coming the same day as we saw the promotion for, I don't know what it was, but Bam was going like undercover at this furniture store or whatever as Dan Adebayo, and people are just begging for him to have a bad game after that comes out, because that's what we got tonight. We got Dan Adebayo, and we're just waiting for Bam to show back up in Miami. Andrew Wiggins had another tough outing. He finished with 10 points on 10 shots. At least in Game 1, he had that hot start, but we never got that at all in this game. He was bad from buzzer to buzzer. Duncan Robinson only played 12 minutes and only finished with 3 points, and we did see some adjustments from Spo. Like, instead of seeing minutes from guys like Kyle Anderson and Alec Burks, who saw no time on the floor tonight, we got more minutes from Pelle Larsson and Nikola Jovic. Larsson finished with only 2 points in 11 minutes, and Jovic played 25 minutes, scoring 11 points on 4 of 12 shooting, including 1 for 8 from the three-point line. While I like that Nico is able to get in and play, like, he did have some good plays both offensively and defensively, I think especially in the fourth quarter there was a bit of an over-reliance on him, and he should have been subbed out at some point for Andrew Wiggins, because there were shots that Nico took that I think Andrew Wiggins would have had a better shot at making. Like, Jovic had just the worst timed air balls that ended up sealing Miami's fate. He missed most of the season with a hand injury. I think he broke his hand, and that's why he really hadn't seen much time at all leading up to this point. This was his first minutes in quite some time, and you could tell with some of his shots and just where the ball was going that something was up with his hand. Like, I don't think he would have normally airballed or just had some of these shots go the way they did if he had a healthy hand. So now down 2-0, the Heat will return home to try to at least get one game back, but I don't know, man. This felt like the night that they could have actually stolen the game, because this was the night where the Cavs were struggling down the stretch, and Miami caught fire at the right time, and they still weren't able to capitalize and get the job done. So it's like, if you can't even do that when the Cavs are struggling, what chance do you have whenever they're actually hitting their shots for the entire game and, you know, everyone's showing up? This felt like the time to get a game, and they whiffed. I'm hoping they can prove me wrong, but all I'll say is that last time the Heat went down 2-0, it was against the Bucks in 2021, and they got swept. So the odds aren't exactly in their favor for winning a game in this series. But once again, let me know what y'all think about the Heat in this series. Let me know what y'all think about the Cavs, and let me know what y'all think about the NBA playoffs, because even though we got a nice hot start, things seem to have cooled off, and we're getting a few more blowouts than I think a lot of people would have liked. But that's going to do it for this video. If you like what you saw here, make sure to check out my video on Game 1 of this series. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all later.
Hearing drives in, lays it in, and a timeout for Kenny Atkinson and the Cavaliers.